This is a phenomenal article.
I want some nasty. Are we having fun yet?
All right, so there's a lot of emotions involved right now, okay? People arguing on Twitter, arguing in my Discord. I mean, people are fighting in the streets over the entire Dejounte Murray situation, and I think this article breaks it down pretty good. So big shout out, and hopefully I say your name right, okay? If I said it wrong, I'm completely sorry. But I believe this is just a fan. So from Sam Wang, and basically giving his thoughts on the whole Dejounte Murray situation, but also giving us something that is of objective value on why the Spurs might be considering moving Dejounte Murray, and why it does make complete sense to at least think about it and talk to other teams about a trade scenario. It does make sense. So I'm going to try my best, because this is a long article, okay? I'm going to try my best to summarize it, and we're going to go from point to point to point, and I'll try to just, paraphrase it to the best of my ability. So starting off, there's three options the San Antonio Spurs have here, okay? You can either sign Dejounte Murray to an extension, wait until 2024 free agency and give Dejounte the best offer, or trade Dejounte. Or at least consider offers. So there's three parts here, and we're going to start with this first one, obviously, sign Dejounte to an extension. So if we scroll down here, here's the problem with the whole sign him to an extension thing. Due to the CBA, which is the I almost said cognitive behavior. What the heck? Collective bargaining agreement. Oh my goodness. The maximum amount of money a team can offer a player in an extension is based on last year's of the player's current contract. So basically what this means is it's all based on what you already made. So if you get a raise, it will be like a 10% raise of whatever you were already making, right? So that's not necessarily that great for Dejounte, especially if he believes that he's worth more than that. And even if you look at who he's basically a client of, Clutch, they don't play games, okay? So they're not going to necessarily go for this. And what an extension would actually look like will be a 3-year, $69 million, $23 million per year. So this is what the Spurs could go ahead and offer him. $23 million a year is not that big of a raise from what he's making now. I personally don't believe that he would take this. And Sam Wang here believes that as well, that would not necessarily be the case. Now, another thing that the Spurs can do, now this is if they give them his extension this year. If they wait till next year and give him an extension, it's only $1 million raise, okay? But it will be a 4-year, as you can see, $95.8 million deal, $24 million per year, which going from 16 to 24, more than likely he's going to try to go after that De'Aaron Fox money or that D'Angelo Russell money, which both of them are making around $30 million a year. Now, here's another option that they have, okay? They can renegotiate with Dejounte Murray. Now, if they renegotiate, you can't do that until October 22nd. And that's a big problem, because if you really think about it, if you want to renegotiate his contract, well, a lot of people and a lot of Spurs fans are saying, I want DeAndre Ayton. I want all these different pieces. Well, how are you going to get those pieces if you have to renegotiate the contract in October? So that is an option. You can renegotiate everything, but you're really going to miss out on quite a few players going forward, okay? It's just not going to work out. So let's just read through what he's saying. So this CBA tool requires the Spurs have cap space available, but if the Spurs let Lonnie Walker go in restricted free agency, as many have predicted they will, myself included, the Spurs can open up to $30 million in cap space, so they may have some to spare. For example, if the Spurs have $10 million in cap space after the 2022 offseason, they could raise Dejounte's salary for the 23 season by $10 million to $26 million, and use that as a starting point for a 4-year, $119 million contract that goes until 2026, $29.9 million a year, more comparable to the Fox and Russell salaries Dejounte might be looking for. The issues with renegotiation, and it's three things that's wrong, and I think we're gonna say, or we already said like a couple of these, okay? One, the Spurs would have to wait until October 2022, meaning that you will miss out on players, which we already said that. It is possible the Spurs and the Dejounte team have already discussed the possibility of such a renegotiation, and Clutch has indicated that off of Dejounte's all-star berth, he doesn't want to limit his earning potential, which obviously Obviously, Clutch would probably do this, okay? As explained below, Dejounte's trade value is likely at its highest right now, meaning waiting for renegotiation means the Spurs miss out on the opportunity for maximum return. And we're definitely going to talk about why his trade value is the highest right here. More than likely, it won't be higher than it is right now. All right, so moving on. Wait until 2024 free agency and give Dejounte the best offer. Now, I'm just going to go ahead and say this right now. I don't think this is the case. Now, basically, all he's saying is you could try to offer him 5-year, $42 million a year. The maximum another team could offer Dejounte is around 4-year, $39 million a year. I just believe that when that time comes, I don't personally believe Dejounte will be on that level of a contract, if that he'll necessarily deserve that type of money. Now, the only way that you think that the Spurs should go all out and just allow free agency to come and then just offer him all this money is if you truly do believe Dejounte Murray is a franchise star caliber player. If you believe that he is a superstar, then I could see where you're coming from. I don't personally believe that. And there's reasons for that, but I won't go into that. But as far as it stands right now, I don't see him getting to that point. Now, the $16 million that he's making right now, he's blatantly outplaying that. Okay, like he's easily outplaying his contract right now. But the belief that he'll get to the point where he's worth $42 million a year or $39 million a year is crazy to me. And also, when you think about free agency and once that comes up, I mean, you're really taking a risk here. You're really taking a risk if you are banking on, especially all this time, you're banking on giving him all that money when it's all said and done. To be honest with you, you're really risking a lot, because what could very well happen is Dejounte leaves. We don't know what's going to happen from here to now. Maybe there be some type of drama between the Spurs and DJ, some friction. Who knows? But if we wait to that point, well, dang, like teams just swoop him up. One thing to keep in mind as well, and I'm just kind of piggybacking off of these last 2 points, the renegotiation, the extension, and everything there. When it comes to trading him, because that will be the next part of all of this, when it comes to trading Dejounte Murray, the reason why his value is the highest right now is because the team will still have 2 years left with him. So when we were trying to trade Kawhi Leonard, there was a lot of issues there. Number one, Kawhi wanted out, okay? And every team knew he wanted out, and they kept trying to lowball us. But number two, they knew he was just a rental. They were just going to have him for 1 year, and that was it. But with Dejounte Murray, this is a special case. You got a player that's making $16 million that, a team that is a championship caliber team or a team that's a playoff caliber team may want to go ahead and give him that extension, okay? Or renegotiate that contract. But we have Dejounte Murray, who's on a $16 million, who's blatantly outplaying that $16 million, okay? And then on top of it, you have him for 2 years. I don't necessarily think that his value is going to be higher the more that we wait, okay? Because a lot of teams are going to say, what's the point? We only get him for 1 season. But if you trade him now, then a team will have him for at least 2 playoff runs. And it just makes complete sense. But going through here, basically he talks a little bit about the True Holiday like package that they want. But we can go ahead and just read this part. On the other hand, by the 2023 offseason, any new team would now only have 1 playoff run with Dejounte Murray before his free agency. And he's just saying, if you wait, greatly lessening his trade value, which we said, because of the CBA extension rules described above, it would also be difficult for his new team to offer a fair extension. So for the Spurs to get more back in a trade, they would have to hope that Dejounte is willing to have a wink-wink agreement with the new team that he would re-sign with them in 2024 free agency, giving Dejounte some control over the process. Great for Dejounte, not so great for the Spurs, who may no longer be able to ask for the True Holiday-like package of 3 first-rounders, as described in Jake Fisher's reporting. So basically he's just saying that the timing of everything, it makes complete sense to go ahead and try your best to do it now, because once 2023 kind of rolls around, it's gonna get a little bit more difficult to move them. Okay, so anyways, I just wanted to relay some of this information to you guys. Like I said, I'm gonna go ahead and drop this. I didn't want to go through every single thing in the article. It is such a great article, but I'm gonna leave this below so you guys can check it out and read through it yourself. And if there's anything that you feel like I've missed, because I did just try to scrape over it the best I could, but if you feel like there's anything I missed, please leave it in the comments and I'll say, oh yeah, I didn't realize that. But I'm pretty sure I covered at least the points here, and at least what I got from it and what makes sense to me. So I'll give it to you guys later. If you want to support the channel, only $2 per month. Patreon and YouTube links below. Until next time, man, deuces.